Hey, what's going on, guys? Haven't made a video in about 2 months, and really for good reason. You can see the market's definitely not in an environment that's conducive for swing trading. So let's kind of go through it. I just want to go through my thoughts of this market environment and kind of what to look for next. But you can see, 87% of stocks are under their 50-day moving average. 83% are under the 200-day. And yesterday, which was Friday, April 4th, we had a pretty big dump in the market due to Trump's tariffs. And if we look at the chart, so this is the breadth indicator, and you can see we last 2 days we're down about almost 10%, a little over 10% on the Nasdaq ETF. So pretty ugly action overall. And this kind of started with this FOMC day in December. We started getting distribution action, which we didn't know it was really distribution until we kind of broke down. But that day really showed us some weakness in the overall market. You can see we took a pretty big hit on that FOMC day, and you started seeing some fracture on the net highs. We started seeing some damage on a lot of stocks. And then we had this little run up here, which pretty much blew off top on a lot of speculative names. Like if you look at hims and hers, we had some crazy moves into that last hoorah. Other names like Oklo, huge massive moves on some of these growth names. This one I traded. I actually caught this one for a nice 100% move from 15 to 30 just in a few days. So you saw a lot of these moves kind of blow off. Gurr did have a secondary move, but if you look at HIMS, big parabolic blow off top. Oklo, big parabolic blow off top. And then you saw some other leaders like Tesla started. That FOMC day was the damage, was the top, and then you just saw it fade throughout. And if you look at the breadth, it hasn't really improved. We got these highs here, and then once we lost the 50 on February 24th, we've just been in a sell cycle. You see a lot of higher net lows, and we may be capitulating soon. Who knows? Maybe we get a short-term bounce. I'm not trying to guess in this market. I did get chopped up January, February. If you look at, so this is November 12th is when I started this account. Had a really good November, December. Was up about 10% on my personal account. And then January hit, and you started seeing a lot of the frothy action, a lot of failed breakouts, just no real moves out, a lot of distribution action. And that's when I kind of took a deeper hit, January, February. But since February 24th, if you look at the cues, this was my trigger to get out of the market. You saw a double top breakdown. The 50-day, we lost the 50-day on high volume, and there was really just no reason to kind of push it since then. And you can see February 24th was the date where I just kind of slowed down and just been flatlined on my, I took a few trades here and there, but very tiny, very limited exposure. Got green very little and then got hit back down. So, but I'm down 1.38% since February 24th, while the indexes are down 15% plus. So really important to kind of step aside and stop trading. Like there's no reason to be trading in this market. Even if you see setups, most of them are going to fail. I was just going through my scans and I don't see much. This is the list of relative strength names that are in my master list, and Celsius, I traded this one for a few days. I think I got out this day, but this one is probably one of the better holding names out there, but there's just not a lot of things. You're in a selective market where if you're not, perfectly hitting these names, out of 5,000 names, you're trading what, 8, 10 names. It just doesn't make sense. There's no reason to kind of push it. If you look at some of the bigger leaders, Nvidia has really done nothing for the last 6 months. We've just been topping. You can see distribution, and now we're starting to roll over. Tesla, the FOMC was the top and rolling over. These are all in downtrends now. PLTR blew off top on that last run up, last hoorah, down. AVGO, all the semiconductors, if you look at SMH, disgusting action, like this is real damage out there. If you look at the group sectors, the last half year, there's no green sectors. Energy was strong. Energy was strong until the last 2 days. They got hit. Look at XLE. This thing was setting up a massive base breakout, and last 2 days just big sell off. So, overall the whole market is in a pretty bad environment where you really don't want to be over trading right now, unless you're on the short side, or if you hit the short in this bear flag, you don't want to be trading at all right now. And that's just kind of the action we're in. No reason to be trading. Like, look at AMD. Once we lost the 50 back in October, when things were still running, October, November, December, we had a great run on the indexes. This thing has just been in a straight downtrend. There's no reason to be trading these names that are under key moving averages. And that's kind of the next step, where even if we do capitulate, where are the setups, right? Like, unless you're if you're looking for a quick bounce, you're trading TQQ, whatever it is, you could probably get a quick bounce. If we gap down, we'd probably get a nice quick 30% bounce on TQQ if you get the right intraday entry. But it's something I'm not really interested in. I want to wait for these times when we're in a good trend. If you look at the breadth indicator, these are the times where you can really make money. We're in a nice uptrend above the 10 and 20, like Christian says, above 10 and 20, and we want to get out the way when we're in this chop zone. You can even see the breadth, right? Like this area right here, we don't want to be involved. We want to be involved in these big run-ups because all the stocks are moving together, and you can see we've got significant damage right now. If you look at StockB's indicator, StockB's market monitor, let's see if it pulls up. Yeah, I think we're getting into a close, the T2108 is in a green zone where we could get a bounce, maybe a bottom, who knows. But for me, it's all about the setups. I want to see the relative strength names. And if you look at my daily scan, these are the names that are above the moving averages, which are inverse names like SQQQ. This is the short inverse Qs. The bear semiconductor, VIX, volatility. I don't want to be trading this stuff. I mean, unless you hit these, if you hit SQQQ this day or even this day, those were the trades. But besides that, you're not seeing too many stocks out there, right? Like I added Rocket, I added Ollie into my list, but those are very low amount of setups out there. So there's just no reason to be trading right now. So hope everybody's staying safe out there. I think we got to be patient, wait for names to kind of set up, and let the indexes kind of get back above key moving averages. Let the 10 and 20 start curling. If you look back over here when we had this little mini correction here, we were kind of drifting under the 50-day. 50-day is the big guideline, right? And especially the 200-day. If you look at the 2022 kind of bear market, once we lost the 200, we got rejected. And then once we broke it, retested, this is when you want to start getting involved, right? Like you're confirming this breakout, and then you're pulling back. There's still some volatility in it, but I bet you there was a bunch of stocks that are set up here in this area. And then you start turning. And if you look at, this is exactly when NVIDIA broke out, right? Like NVIDIA broke out. You can see NVIDIA broke out of this big downtrend. This was the time to get involved in NVIDIA. If you missed this big run, this was when I actually got involved, which was this was pre-split, the $500 breakout. You saw a nice tight setup. I definitely botched the trade. I sold it in 3-4 days, but this thing, that's when you kind of want to get involved, when these names are above key moving averages, tightening up. And I just don't see that right now. I don't see any leaders. Maybe Celsius, but again, this is like a beaten down stock that maybe turns back over. So that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, hope everybody's staying safe, and just got to be patient in this market. Who knows when we do turn, but there's going to be incredible opportunities out of this bear market. I guess we are in a bear market now. So stay patient. You want to keep your cash. You don't want to be losing in this environment just to kind of claw out of the drawdown. So hope everybody's having a good weekend, and I'll see you guys next time.